Hi, hello, and welcome to Lily's Library. So today we're going to be doing a little book haul of the last month-ish from July and early August, as well as a couple other extra things that I got in Tasmania that I wanted to show off. So let's just get straight into it because we have got a lot of books, unfortunately. So starting with the 8 books I got in July, I definitely did not even out my physical TBR. I increased it by a lot since I only read 6 books in July and not all of those were off of my physical TBR, but anyways, I went to the Lifeline book sale. You would have seen in my reading vlog for the month that I picked up a couple of books. I didn't realize though at the time, because we were going there before we had to go see the Beetlejuice musical, I didn't realize that there was 2 different rooms. I thought one room and one section was just comics and everything, and the other one was just books, and it was the high quality books, and they were a lot more expensive. Had I properly looked, I would have gone into the cheaper section, but alas, I got 4 books while I was there. So the first 2 books I picked up are Insurgent and Allegiant. I am still looking for Divergent because I don't have my original copies of these anymore, and I do really want to reread them before Veronica Roth puts out her new version of Divergent of If Triss Didn't Choose Dauntless. So I do really want to reread these. I'm looking for a cheap copy of Divergent somewhere. I probably could have actually got all of these for a lot cheaper had I just looked online, but oh well, it's a bit late now. But I've read these before and I did really enjoy them as a teen, so I want to give them another go. Also there, I picked up 2 other books from a series I've been collecting, and these are the Clan of the Cave Bear books. I don't actually know what the series is called, but I got the Mammoth Hunters as well as the Plains of Passage. These ones I am happy I spent a little bit more money on them because they are a bit better quality than some of the other copies I've seen around, but I was just tossing up between the different covers. But this is book 4 and then this one is book 3. I just really love how these all look, so it's nice to have all 4 books. I think there's only 4 in this series, but it's nice to add them to my collection so I can actually read them all. Hopefully I can get to them soon. Okay, after that, I ended up buying a copy of The Odyssey. I feel like everyone is reading or watching this at the moment. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to see the movie. I'm just not really a huge Christopher Nolan fan. Albeit I've only seen a couple of his films, but I don't know. But I've always wanted to read this, so I finally got a copy of Emily Wilson's translation. I've only read the first 2 books of it, so I'm not very far in, but I'm hoping to make a lot of progress on this one throughout August and hopefully finish it then. But it's something I've always wanted to read, and I find her translation to be very accessible compared to some other ones that I've seen. After that, I picked up a copy of The Caretaker. This is by Marcus Cleaver, the same author of We Used to Live Here, sorry. I always say the wrong thing for some reason. But I read that book a couple of years ago and loved it and devoured it, so I'm very intrigued by this one. I have heard some mixed things since then. One of my friends who also loved We Used to Live Here didn't really love this one as much, but I still want to give it a go. I'm hoping to read this one soon, but this is a horror. It follows a young woman who accepts a caretaking job in this remote area, and some weird things start happening. A local bookshop here in my town also opened recently, and I went to one of their first days and I picked up a book I hadn't seen before, and that was Mars One. This one is by Charlotte Robinson. It's a very chunky sci-fi debut, but this is a sci-fi thriller, I guess. After reading We Used to Live Here, I really wanted to read more books that kind of have similar premises or that are in that kind of thriller mystery genre, and I found this one to be really interesting. It says one small step, one fatal mistake. But this is a dual, or it follows 3 different POVs. It says 3 stories collide in a breathless thriller that asks, what is the price of progress and who must pay it? We follow a bunch of people with a one-way mission to Mars, and something starts going wrong and someone's been sabotaging the trip and the mission. So I'm very intrigued by it and want to try and get to it soon. Then the final book I bought in July was a new release, and that was Heartstopper Volume 6 by Alice Osman. I read this in the month as well and really enjoyed it. I have nothing else to say besides I love Heartstopper. I think it is so cute. Now, moving on to the books I got in Tasmania. Now, out of these ones, 4 of them I bought myself and 2 my partner bought for me. So we're just going to go through all of them and I'll tell you where I got them from. So I did actually go into a bookstore in Launceston that was really cool, but I didn't pick anything up there. But when I was at Cradle Mountain, I decided to pick up the Field Guide to the Fungi of Australia. This probably would have been a bit cheaper if I had got it from somewhere else, but I really love fungi and mushrooms and everything. So I was very excited to pick this one up, but it's got drawings of mushrooms and fungi and stuff, as well as a whole bunch of pictures of different ones. It was something I wish I had with me while we were actually up walking around Cradle, because I bought it after our walk, and a few of the other ones we did around that area and other parts of Tasmania, just because it would have been nice to be able to identify them. But this is not really a book that you can just easily carry around. I mean, you could but it's still a little bit heavy. But I did take lots of photos of mushrooms and I love learning about them. So it's just very nice to add to my collection. I'm not adding this to my physical TBR because it's just a field guide. I don't really feel like it counts. It counts, but it doesn't count, you know. But while we're talking about Cradle, I also got a magnet. There, it is just this one that's off Cradle Mountain. Me and my partner love collecting magnets from different places we go to. It's only something we've started doing recently, but I thought this was a really nice one to add to our collection since it's wood and it's got like the different layers and everything. So very nice. Then in Hobart, we went to 2 different bookstores. I went to Fuller's bookstore and got 2 books. The first one is What Am I, a Deer? This is by Polly Barton. I've read some of her translated works, but this is her debut fiction book. It released earlier this year. I have read the first sort of chapter-ish and I'm intrigued, but a little bit nervous because the writing style is something that I'm not typically a fan of. It's these very long, compounded, almost run-on sentences. And it seems like there's no proper real chapters in this. There's some like bits where things are broken up, but it's very dense. So I'm a little nervous, but it sounded really intriguing. It follows a young woman who takes up a job in Frankfurt at a famous gaming company, even though she has very little interest in games. And once there, she encounters a nice-eyed stranger who returns her forgotten umbrella and finds herself catapulted into a dizzying year-long whirlwind of obsession. It says that this is an exhilarating exploration of authenticity, fantasy, romance, and intoxication. It just sounds really interesting and I'm intrigued by it. It's a bit out of my comfort zone because I'm not really into literary, or I don't know, I am into literary fiction, but also not at the same time. So I just really wanted to pick this up and I do really love these editions and just how simple they are. I also got another one from the same publisher and this is Counter Narratives. This is by John Keane. It's a collection of stories and novellas that draw upon memoirs, newspaper accounts, detective stories, interrogation, transcripts, and speculative fiction to create new and strange perspectives on our past and present. It just sounded really interesting and I love having different like short story collections to be able to flick through whenever I want to. So I'm happy to add this one to my collection. And again, another one of those really cute little like blue books. Okay, then the final bookstore we went to was the Hobart Bookshop, which I really loved their selection there and the booksellers were super lovely and nice. Same with Fuller's, but I picked up 3 books. This is where I bought one for myself and my partner bought me 2. So I'm pretty sure the one I got myself was What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. I could be confusing it though. I'm not 100% certain, but I already read this. I read this on the plane back from Tasmania and I devoured it. I love this series so much. This is book 3 in the Sworn Soldier series. I'm not too sure whether there is going to be more. I feel like it's kind of done, but I have a feeling there might be a 4th. I could be wrong, but I really enjoyed this. I think all of these are 5-star books. I think this is definitely the least scary of the 3 of them, and I just had a really good time with it. This follows Alex as they tackle a new mystery and a new entity that they're trying to chase, this time in America. It is down a haunted mine, and I just found it to be very interesting, and it did have creepy moments. And yeah, I just loved the communication style with our characters and the entity as well. I thought it was very interesting and fun, and I just really enjoy things like this book and what it did. Okay, then the other 2 books I picked up, I got another short story collection, and that is The Ones Who Got Away. This is by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a collection of stories. This was actually a little bit pricey, I think just because it's a publisher that you can't easily get in Australia. It's by Open Road, which I haven't heard of, but this has got Stephen Graham Jones takes on familiar horror tropes. We've got zombies, camping mishaps, damaged children. It sounds very interesting, and I've been on a very big kick of Stephen Graham Jones lately, so I'm always happy to add more to my collection because I think at the moment all of the books I have of his I have read, so it is nice to have another one to add, and I do really like the cover of this one. Then finally, I got City of Rats by Kopi. This is translated by Kit Sholter. I have very mixed feelings on this. I have already started reading it. It sounded really interesting. This is told through letters of this pet rat to his owner, which I guess his owner is Kopi, and it's been translated from rat into French and now into English in this new translation, and it's very interesting. The thing that sold me is the blurb, really. It says that, but what begins as a strange and marvelous bedtime story, Gory and his new friend Raka selling flour-coated worms to pigeons for spare change, soon spirals into an exhilarating whirlwind of murder, sex, unionized hamsters, courtroom drama, and finally Armageddon. But I feel like the blurb is a little bit misleading because while most of that is true, this book is a lot darker than it lets on. Like, it is set in 1970s Paris in kind of the underworld, if you would, but it is a lot heavier and more messed up than I thought it would be. This is something I really should have checked the content warnings on before I picked it up, just because there was a very uncomfortable and gross scene. I don't really know if I can say it here. I'll put the content warnings on the screen so you can kind of see where it's going. But it is something I have read before in books and has made it really difficult for me to continue. And I am kind of feeling that again in this one. I am a decent amount past it, and I think this is a very short and interesting read, so I do want to maybe try and finish it. But I kind of do regret buying it in a way, just because it is a little bit uncomfortable. I think this might have actually been the one I bought myself. I don't know, but I did love the cover and I thought it sounded really fun, but it's just kind of a lot. But anyways, then I also got a couple other things that I just wanted to show you while we were in Tasmania. I got this really cute little recycled plastic coin pouch and little thing that I've been using in my wallet. It's just the cat. It says, "I'm not bossy, I'm the boss." There's some really cute ones, and I like that it's recycled and like helps support that. So I've been using this. I think it's just really cute, and you can really never have too many of these pouches. Then at a store that we saw in Salamanca, which is near the Hobart bookstore, I found this little guy. I don't know if it's gonna focus. I might need to do a separate close-up. Oh, you can kind of see him. We've named him Timothy because he lives in a tin. It's just a little, oh my God. It's just a little rock guy. It's got a little face on this side and another little like carved one. He just makes me really happy. I don't know if that's fully focusing, but it just makes me really happy. It's really cute and little. My dad actually got me something that this same artist made. It's this little guy. So it's just this little stone clay vase, and I really like it. It says it's from Melly Frank, I'm pretty sure is the name, but I'll put a photo up of the business card with the details because I thought it was absolutely adorable. Then a couple of the other little miscellaneous things I got actually on my necklace. I've got this little Tasmania devil charm. It's kind of hard to see, so I'll take a close-up of it later, but it's just a little silver charm that's of a paw print of one because I thought it was really cute, and it kind of goes with my charm that my dad got me from Tasmania, which is of one of the only deciduous trees, I think it is. It's just a little cute detail on my charm necklace. Then finally, I got a little pin to put on my bag. This is really noisy because of all the other stuff, but it is just this really cute little Tassie devil. I really like it, and I like the color. I think it goes really well with this purple bag, but that was just a little cheap thing I got, and I love supporting little artists and different like small businesses and stuff like that. I took one of their business cards as well, so I put it on the screen as well with the name of everything so you can find it. But that is it for my little haul. It was a good mix of books and some of those little miscellaneous cute things that I got in Tasmania. But let me know if you have read any of the books that I spoke about, especially City of Rats. I'd be really intrigued if anyone has picked that up and read it and what your thoughts were on it, because I was reading a lot of the reviews and they're very mixed. But yeah, I think I've spoken for long enough now. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stick around for more videos, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.